All right, so Destiny 2's been out for a couple of years now.
3 years.
Three. Well, it's going on year 3.
That was going on year 3. Yeah.
So there's been a lot to experience so far.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, I can go back to the very, very, very beginning of Destiny 2. Just that whole level of going through the tower as it's being demolished, fighting through and getting to the end. Like that, to me, that was just a very pinnacle point. And realizing that you're transitioning from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2 just through that one area.
Right.
Which I thought was very, very cool. But you never experienced the whole Destiny 1 feel, right? So like the tower didn't really resonate with you as much, right?
So wasn't the tower like in game to where you were trying to get to at the end of Destiny 1?
The tower was essentially the exact same social hub as it is now, but it was just a different layout, different look.
Gotcha. Okay.
The whole horror.
So where was everybody trying to get to in Destiny 1? Like they would pay people to get them there.
Oh, the lighthouse.
Oh, that was the lighthouse.
All right. So that was. Do you remember Trials of the Nine?
Yeah.
It was Trials of Osiris back in D1. So it was basically it was 3v3 elimination with reses, obviously. But that was back in the day when warlocks had self-res. You never got to experience it. So self-res is amazing. So like if you had self-res as a warlock and you died, you popped your super right back to life. And that would piss everybody off because in Trials, it was, like I said, 3v3 elimination. And so, like, somebody comes back to life, and then, like, they have an overshield. They get grenades out the ass. So, like, there's, like, oh, I'm alive. And they're, like, popping grenades off everywhere. So that was that. And with Trials of the Nine, it was 4v4. And there was no lighthouse. But the lighthouse was, like, the pinnacle place to go. Like, like, oh, man. Yeah, dude, I got you. Like, we'll come in. You pay $75 or whatever they were selling it for on eBay or whatever at the time, and it's like, oh, hey, yeah, you pay this money, and we'll make sure you get to the lighthouse. Like, absolutely,
carry your ass there.
Yeah, and I mean they're doing the same now with like recluse carries and Lunas Howl carries and stuff like that. But back then it was way different because it's like, oh shit, like these are like the top pinnacle players of Crucible. Like I don't think I can get there. And these people were willing to do it, but for a premium.
Gosh, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
No, I went, like I've said, before, I went as far as playing the story through Destiny 1, and then that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
I've thought about it more recently, and I may actually do it tonight or tomorrow, but I want to actually, if I have time, I want to pop in Destiny 1 and just see what weapons I have, if I have any exotics, what my character looks like.
Right.
I want to actually check that out.
So funny story about D1. I kind of came from the same background as you as far as how I played it. I played the initial story. I played a little bit after that, I guess, and then I just set it down.
Right.
And then our mutual friend Evan, he's like, "Hey man, I got these people. Like, I need you to come back and play Destiny. There's like a new expansion out." I was like, first persons aren't really my thing. And he's like, "Nah, dude, it's fine. Like, we got you. You can run with us, and we'll get you up level where you need to be." I was like, "You know what? Fuck it. All right, cool. I'm in. Sign me up." And this was right after the Dark Below came out, which was like the whole Crota expansion, and which you'll experience in Shadowkeep.
Okay.
Apparently. So he brought me in, put me in their clan. We did a bunch of raids. I got very experienced with Destiny, and I was like, you know what? Like, this is sucking me in way harder than I wanted it to. And so I sat there and just wound up playing through all the raids, all the DLCs, all the expansions, everything with D1. And like I said, like your social hub was the tower or the reef. The reef was kind of, you know how the farm is like that one place you don't really go to? Yeah. The reef was kind of like that, but you kind of had to go there if you were playing Trials because Brother Vance was there, but he's now in Mercury. there's a lot of separation in the continuity of it.
That part doesn't really make any sense to me either. Like, if you're barely going to go there, what's the point of having it there? Because really the only point of there now is for the Outbreak mission.
Right. Well, because initially it was part of the story.
Right.
So they kind of leave it in there for that aspect, I guess. But the Reef was the same way. Like I said, Brother Vance was like your go-to guy for trial stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he gave you the bounties. That's where you went and collected your gear. So it's kind of the equivalent, I guess.
Yeah.
But you spent more time at the tower. And whenever Destiny 2 comes out, you've got Gaul coming in. He's taking over. He's destroying the tower. And that immersion between... And it's so crazy because you can watch like those very minimal places that you went to. Like you went to Eververse at one part in that tower, or you went to whoever, or your spawn point or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing because you can watch the two games bridge themselves together in that one spot. Because the very ending of Destiny 1 is the very beginning of Destiny 2. Which is, to me, is awesome. Like,
say that again.
Mind blowing. Like the bringing together of D1 and D2 is the destruction of the tower.
Very end of D1 is the beginning.
But not in the story.
Okay.
But like just from playing it, like I said, you spend so much time in that tower to watch it be destroyed, and then you have to go rebuild this other tower.
So it's a completely separate tower. From D1 to D2?
Yeah, that's not the same tower.
Okay.
So, so we ran you through the Outbreak mission the other day, right? So that whole part of that mission, 90% of that is the original tower.
The ending with the boss wasn't...
The ending part, not so much, but remember when at the very beginning you come out and there's that part where you have to shoot like all the shanks and there's a sniper shanks in the back and there's that little kiosk?
Yeah.
That's the original tower.
Okay.
And in D2, at the very beginning, when Zavala pops his shield, that's in the original tower.
I remember that. Okay.
Yeah. So.
I remember dropping in the original tower, and I vaguely remember it. But you would drop in, and like if you wanted bounties, you'd go like, you drop in, you go like what, straight ahead?
Yeah.
It'd be on like the opposite side, and you grab your little bounty right there. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I vaguely remember that part, and I remember like the very beginning mission to when you drop in, and your ghost explaining to you what your ghost is and what they do, and you're picking up little random weapons. I really just want to go back and replay it.
There's a lot of story.
But I mean, as far as memories so far, I mean, I've got more memories now in D2, of course. I remember how long and packed the line was at GameStop when the night that because I went to the...
Oh, really?
I don't remember if it was a 9 o'clock release or a midnight release that they did for that, because now it changes all the damn time now.
There's no such thing as a midnight release anymore except on digital.
Right, exactly. It's like 9 o'clock. But yeah, it's...
Show up to GameStop at 6:30. We'll have sandwiches and...
Yeah, they have pizza and soda. But yeah, I remember that line just being wrapped around the block for people waiting to get that game. And then you get home, and I was playing with John at the time because we had both bought it or whatever, and we pop it in, and you are this number in queue to enter the server.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I was like... So with my crappy internet, I just waited, an hour for this thing to download. Now I have to wait X amount of time now to even get booted into the game. I was like, mother.
I had to download it from hard copy.
Like shit. So
yeah,
I remember that. But then so far now, it's just most of my memories now stand from. I pretty much remember every time I get a new exotic. Or what when I did get those exotics.
Well, so from Destiny 2 vanilla to now, what as far as story standpoint, what kind of resonates with you the most?
Cayde. Yeah, Cayde would probably be the big thing. I don't vaguely really remember too much of the actual story.
Oh, rest in peace, Cayde.
But if I had to sit here and think about the whole time I've been playing in 2 years, probably the whole Cayde story probably stands out the most Most like because I played it 3 times already. I played it through the Titan, I played it through the Hunter, and I played it through the Warlock.
Right.
But then that was a very big pinnacle moment too, because along with that story, you got new supers, you got bows and everything else. So that would probably be.
But and to kind of piggyback off of that, it wasn't even just like just the base Cade story from Forsaken. It was his backstory, which is to me is the fact that it's locked behind lore really upsets me, because his story is so good and so rich. Like, I mean, he used to be a human hunter, and like he had a family, had a son. Ace of Spades, his son's name was Ace. And that's why like one of his very last lines is "I'm coming home, Ace."
Well, didn't you have to go collect not tapes? Tapes was for the Drifter, but you had to go and collect something for Cade, didn't you?
Yeah. I forget what it was.
Yeah, but you went and collected
but
those.
it's for the Ace of Spades quest.
It was for the Ace of Spades quest, and you had to go and collect all these different things,
Yeah.
and they were all pointed towards somebody.
It's from his journal.
Right, his journal, yeah.
Yeah.
And one of his, you were talking about that line.
That still
very
hits home.
impactful.
That still hits home.
Mine
Like,
was, I believe, I can't remember it quote for quote, but he had said, "Tell Ikora that it was the best bet I ever lost." Something along that.
Him getting wrapped up in the Vanguard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the best bet I had ever lost.
He's the most fleshed out. Like, him and Zavala are the two most fleshed out characters. Cade's story is, to me, is my favorite. Zavala's was more of a triumph and come back from nothing, kind of rebuild or whatever. But Cade had family. He lost people that he didn't know he lost until later on down the road.
And you still had that upbeat personality to go along with it.
Yeah, and the sarcasm, the little quips and
You had
retorts.
a chicken named Colonel. Chicken named Colonel.
And it had a great voice actor, with Nathan Fillion. And he to this day, that will be my favorite character out of any storyline. From here until this franchise dies, Cade will always be my favorite character, just because of his demeanor, his nature, his backstory.
Could we ever get him reprised as Cade 7?
Do we want that?
I do. Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah. You want
Yes,
to
I do.
reprogrammed Cade?
I
Huh?
want to reprogram Cade.
I mean,
I don't care if it's like a microchip that was still like going on in the back of his little hunter brain, that's been around this whole entire time, or he was able to get sucked in by some other ghost. I don't care.
if it makes sense to the story, sure.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
But like, I don't want some like random like little side quest. It's all like narrative while I'm running
Takes
around.
all 30 minutes to do, and
It's like go collect.
Well, that would be something cool, like if it was like
fallen filaments or something.
what if it was like a really, really strung out mission that, went over the course of, 1 or 2 seasons, but you had no idea that that's what was coming.
And then just the end was like a Cade 7.
Right, exactly. Like that would be kind of like when Cade died and then your character spoke for the first time. Like, that was pretty mind blowing. I was like, oh shit, my character just spoke.
Oh, so you don't. Oh, okay. So your character used to speak
In D1?
a little bit. Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't like anything profound or whatever.
Right.
It wasn't like a 20, 30 hour campaign by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, your character used to speak. But yeah,
Cool.
I could just imagine like if Cade like 7 came back and your character was like, oh hey, Cade, we used to do this or whatever. We saved the last city together and we took on Gaul or whatever. I can only imagine like that would be pretty cool.
I'd be freaking happy now if, in Shadowkeep I get like a whole cutscene, that goes on for like 5 or 10 minutes, just my character speaking. Like,
Good luck. Good
I
luck.
know.
We never got that in D1. Would not expect it in D2.
well, Bungie's not part of Activision anymore. It might happen.
Yeah. Maybe. Who knows? Who
But
knows?
no, I mean that's really all that can come to mind is basically just Cade stuff.
Yeah. My whole one of my favorite memory of both. I mean, this was supposed to be a Destiny 2 memory. But it really translates to D1 as well. It's just the experiences that you have with multiple people. You know, you team up with 2 other people or 5 other people, and you experience the exact same thing at the same time together. And the story with, especially Forsaken on, like the whole raid and everything, and even the original raid, it's really fun to me to be able to experience that with new people or the same people, and we're experiencing new content. Right. And to be able to run through all that together, like that, to me, that's where the memories lie, are within the raids. Mm-hmm. Because same thing happened to me during Crota. That was my very first raid. And that was a DLC. And that came out after the original vanilla launch of D1.
What was the raid where you had to not get eaten by the dogs?
That was the dog encounter, quote unquote, in the Leviathan raid.
My very first raid.
That was your very first raid?
Yeah. Leviathan
raid. Because you never played D1.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if we could find some people to run you through D1, I will totally do it with you, just to do the raids, because the raids in D1 are so good.
I see people on YouTube now, they'll sit there and solo the raid.
They'll solo Crota. Don't let them get it twisted. They'll solo Crota.
Okay.
Because it's still doable, especially with a hunter.
Right.
That's the best one to do it with. But the raids in D1 were so fun. It's so mechanic heavy, and there was just like a lot of experiences that you could remember, like from being able to knock. I forget what was the guy's name from Vault of Glass. Can't remember it, but you were able to throw solar grenades at his feet, and it would knock him off the back of the ledge, and he would fall off, and then you beat the boss, so you beat the raid. With Crota, he would come into the crystal room, and you're like, oh shit, here he is, like we're dead, so we got to wipe. And there was that one, like just little stuff like Scourge of the Past, or not Scourge of the Past, Wrath of the Machine. They're both Fallen raids, by the way. But
easy to mix up.
But yeah, Wrath of the Machine, like the drop from the top of the wall, like dude, you're on the wall, like the what separates the last city from the outside world is the wall, right? And you're fighting a raid on top of that. That was fun as shit to me. Like I love that raid to death, and that's where you got the first Outbreak Prime.
Oh, okay. That was a random drop?
No.
You just got it for complete.
That was so Destiny back in the day used to have like community puzzles.
Okay.
Right. So like you would have like the elitists figure it out, and then like they would make videos and people would try to figure it out from there, and it was a very collective thing within the community, and Outbreak Prime was one of them. You had to figure out different number codes and all kinds of shit. It was a headache, and you don't get that in Destiny 2 in the raids anymore. You don't get like puzzles to figure out, and that's one thing I miss a lot, because now all the important exotics are tied to quests, right? So right. And you can do them all solo for the most part. Destiny 1 wasn't like that. It was you got to keep track with it online or whatever. If you meet up with somebody that knows what to do, and then go from there. So that was the whole difference between D1 and D2 is like everything before was more of a focus on the community, is now not as much.
Focus more on solo than it is the community?
Yeah. Like you can get Thorn by yourself. You can get Truth by yourself.
Right.
You can get Last Word by yourself. You can get Lumina, because I've done all these by myself.
Right.
Outbreak, not so much.
I mean, you can, but you really got to know what the hell to do.
You can, but I'd rather fucking jack off with razor blades, to be honest with you. Bad Juju, you can do by yourself.
Right. I did that one by myself.
And the rest of them are drops, you know. You can't, there's nothing that takes place of coming together as a community to solve a puzzle that acquires you a specific drop like it was in D1. And I'm so sorry that you missed out on something like that, because it was so epic.
I mean, honestly, and I think that's kind of where we differ. I'm glad that it's solo. Because if you and Dolinator and Joker decided to stop playing tomorrow, great, I can still go do all this shit by myself, and I'll
Right.
be A-okay.
But and that's the difference too. Is like you think that way, but back then everybody teamed up.
Right, yeah.
The community was so different back then. Like,
Mhm.
oh man, you need Outbreak? Psh, come on, jump in this raid with us. We got you.
Yeah.
Or it's like you need to get like Galahorn or whatever. Like, well, it was different in Rise of Iron because it was like a mission.
Mhm.
But originally it was just a drop.
Right.
Galahorn was just, and that was the most epic gun ever.
Yeah. You come back from pissing and you got it.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, I have to tell the story to listeners because like only a few people know about it. So I played. My very first raid was Crota's End, and because I was very inexperienced, had no idea what I was doing, I died a lot, obviously. So they did the Death Singer, which if you don't know, there was a wizard inside the crystal room that you had to kill
Right.
after you killed the Shriekers. So you killed her, and then you got your checkpoint drops, all right?
Right.
So I died way before that, like way before that. And I went to take a piss, and I came back, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, Jeff, you got Galahorn!" I was like,
So hold on.
"I have no idea what that is."
You died
Yeah.
and came back?
No, I died and then went to the bathroom, and then they beat it while I was in the bathroom.
Oh, okay. So they
Yeah.
had beaten it without you even needing to be a part of it.
Yeah, I didn't
and
have to.
sure
I didn't,
enough, you
yeah, I didn't
fucking
have to be in
got
it, dude. Like people have completed that encounter with solo.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So they beat it. I came back in, they're like, "Oh, you got the Galahorn." I was like, "I have no idea what this is," and they're like, "This is the best gun in the game." I was like, "Sorry." And like I got in Suros Regime before that. Didn't know what it was. I just knew it was a really good auto rifle.
Right.
Other than that, I had no idea how important it was or whatever. And so like I went from Suros to Galahorn, and then I turned around after I did that raid. I think maybe it might have been the same week or then like the next week. I went and did Vault of Glass, and I got the Vex Mythoclast, which was like just take a fusion rifle
Mm-hmm.
and mix it with an auto rifle.
Okay.
So you're just getting choo.
Yeah.
So good, so good. And so I got all the really good stuff way ahead of time.
Only you were that lucky with 1,000 voices.
If only Destiny 2's RNG is not as kind to me as D1's was.
Their drop rate though is
So bad, so bad. Like we did Scourge of the Past the other night. You weren't on, but we did Scourge of the Past. Nobody got Anarchy.
Do people normally get Anarchy?
Sometimes, like a lot of times, there's at least one person that gets it.
Okay.
Nobody got it, but that happens all the time.
Right.
So the drop difference was way different back then, but I will never forget this, and Evan will remember this too. Our buddy Evan, who plays, he's actually the one that got me into it. I've been chasing Hawkmoon for about 6 months.
About the same for me with Jotun.
Yeah, and he had been chasing Galahorn for about the same.
Mm-hmm.
So he and I did Nightfall together, just us two, and
Just for the hell of it.
yeah, just see what happens. And first completion, he got Galahorn. I was like, oh fuck, that's awesome, dude. Like, yeah, like we used to like really encourage people that got
Yeah.
exotics. You don't get that anymore now.
No.
Back
because
then,
the drop rate's so damn low, right? Or,
right, well, it was just a different community back
Okay,
then. Like it was just
gotcha.
a different outlook. Like we used to get really happy for anybody that got like a really important drop, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So he finally got his Galahorn. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, that's awesome. Like, congrats, man. He's like, yeah, well, let's run it again. See what you can get. And I was like, all right,
Yeah,
bet. So
why not?
Yeah, so I switched characters and jumped back in, ran through it, finally got my Hawkmoon. And that Hawkmoon actually helped me get my Thorn. because I needed hand cannon kills. So I used Hawkmoon with, and then I combined that with the hand cannon from Crota's End, and did it. And that was like one of the best times to me in all of Destiny, not just necessarily Destiny 2. But I feel like I'm on the same page as you are with the whole Destiny 2 thing, with like the Cade story, and like that's one of my
Sticking
favorite.
out the most.
Yeah, that one and like the initial tower entry mission, like those are like my two favorite encompassing things.
Yeah, the Warmind was with Brother Vance, right?
No, Curse of Osiris.
Curse of Osiris, Brother Vance.
Yeah, Warmind was Annabray.
Mars. That one was alright. Curse of Osiris, I really didn't care for at all.
Yeah, you could have slept on that, man.
No.
Yeah.
No one. Okay.
Yeah, none of the weapons were worth it. And you had to get 13 of them to get the ghost shell.
13 what?
13 guns. So I mean, like you had sniper, grenade, rocket,
pretty much all of them.
SMG, auto, scout. I mean, there's like 12 or 13 guns that you had to get, and then that unlocks the Segura ghost shell, which is the one I use, but only because it looks cool.
Yeah. I was using the ghost shell from when Forsaken dropped, and you had to do something. It was either right before Gambit drop or whatever, but it was the ghost shell from the Drifter. I think you had to reset your rank in order to get it.
Oh, I know. Yeah, sure.
But now I'm using the ghost shell that points out treasure chest everywhere.
So far from what's dropped in Destiny 2, what's been like your kind of go-to thing? Like what have you enjoyed the most out of everything's this so far?
Breakneck. Out
of everything, it's the one gun drop, huh?
I played so much Gambit to get that damn gun. Like it was 40 matches of Gambit.
Oh, I know.
I think, and I did. I planned myself out so I wouldn't get burnt on it. It was 40 matches. I was like, okay, I'll do 5 matches a day. That's 8 days. That's a week and a day. Okay, cool. I'll have it. That's done. But then it was like, 1,500 auto rifle kills or something.
Yeah, there was a lot of like
so much to get that damn
yeah.
gun. And then once I got it, that's pretty much the only gun I use in Gambit. Breakneck. Bygones.
So weapons resonate with you a lot more than like the actual experiences itself, right?
What do you mean?
So like you remember like your weapon drops more than like specific like story elements or like activities.
Yeah.
Because they're like things that you've worked towards.
Yeah, well, I mean with and it's one thing I used to tell my buddy Richie about all the time, or not really tell him, but he would tell me. And one of the reasons why he didn't really play Destiny all that much was because he had made the comment. And I agree to him to a certain extent, was that to grind on Destiny and get what Destiny has to offer and everything along those lines, it's like having a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I agree completely. So the time that I spent doing those certain missions to get it, yes, those do resonate with me a lot more.
Yeah, but I mean, how good did it feel to knock out 4 exotic quests the other day?
Outbreak, Thorn. Yeah, I got Outbreak, Oxygen, Wendigo, Thorn, and the last word.
Oh, so they weren't all exotics.
No, they weren't all exotics. Okay. They were 2 exotics?
Might as well be though.
And 2. Well, there were two exotics and a pinnacle or a bunch of pinnacles.
Yeah, a couple pinnacles, few exotics. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Truth will be next. Yeah, but I mean, I think Oxygen. Which one's the Gambit one? No, Gambit was Hush.
Yeah, that one took me forever.
Yeah.
Just because of it's just that much stuff you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
The medals don't really count towards a lot.
Right.
So it's I think 300 medals, which took forever.
I think the next one I'm going to be like really hyped and ready for is going to be a Revoker.
Oh, you're going to go for that one?
Well, I'm at 156 of 300 final sniper rifle blows. Then I'm done. I've already cleared the other 2.
Wait, you already got Fabled?
Not for the Revoker. You don't got to hit Fabled.
Glory earned. technically. Or whatever.
Yeah, it's glory earned. Yeah, so I've already hit the glory earned, or and then the however many final blows that it is that you need. Now I just need the 140 something final blows, and I've got the revoker.
Well, you are on your own there, sir. On your own. I wish you the best of luck, though.
And what's funny is I'm using. So remember I told you the first raid that I ever did, which was the Leviathan.
Mm-hmm.
You got the sniper from. The very first time I ever did it with y'all, I got a sniper that dropped for me.
Alone as a god.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one that I'm using now.
That one's actually really good in PvP.
Yeah, that's
really
the
good.
only. That's the only one I'm using.
That one and Inaugural Address are the best weapons to use in PvP as far as original raid drops.
Mm-hmm. You can go on. I'm gonna I just want to fact check that real quick. Alone as God. That's actually what it is. It's Alone as God. Is the weapon that I'm using in PvP with rapid fire, corkscrew, triple tap, snapshot sights.
There you go. Yep. It's like, yeah, the snapshot sights actually help a lot.
Well,
It's a very good sniper rifle if that's what you're going towards. I've got a what's the one from Crucible?
Beloved.
No, the God, I can't remember the name of it. I'm using it right now, and it's been really good. But like, I don't play Crucible as a sniper. You know, I play as like one of those like little dickheads that runs in the back and pulse rifles the shit.
Oh yeah, no, I'm doing that. That's me. I got the part covered.
Yeah, Fate Cries Foul. That's the one I'm
Okay.
using. And I got it with Outlaw and Firmly Planted. I mean, not the best rolls, but it'll do for what I need it for. Because like I'm slightly going for a revoker, like it's in passing.
Yeah, it's there. You'll get a couple here and there, and eventually you'll get it when you get it.
Exactly. Like I'm not trying. Plus everything is gonna like completely change October 1st anyway, so
Right.
I'm not too worried about it. Speaking of which, with things changing on October 1st, we're getting a lot of nerfs and buffs. So Lunafaction boots, Rally Barricade, they're all getting nerfs. So basically what they're doing is reducing or changing it from no reload to increased reload speed.
Yeah, when you're standing in the well.
Yeah, or behind Rally Barricade, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that one?
Really? It really doesn't matter. Like, you're just gonna reload super fast. I mean, it'll probably from the time that you don't reload to that little split second is probably gonna be what, a second 0.5, a second 0.8.
Yeah, and especially if you have like a reload perk on it, one of your guns.
I mean, you're not even gonna notice.
Like, just hit square.
You're
dude.
probably gonna notice when it happens, when it drops, and you'll be like, "Oh shit, look, I'm reloading."
Like, and to be honest, like when we're in the well or behind a Rally Barricade, I hit reload in passing anyway, just out of habit.
Right, exactly.
So I mean, it's gonna be the same.
Yeah, it's not really.
Anyway.
It's not really a big deal. I mean, you're not gonna notice it.
Yeah, I mean,
unless you're intentionally looking to notice it.
Right. I mean, I think it's cool. Because honestly, we've been manipulating that perk for every raid.
Oh yeah, we manipulated it when I went and got Outbreak.
Exactly. So to switch it up a little bit, I think is fine.
You know, looking at these bullet points in what you're going off of right now, and with the Rally Barricade and the Will of Radiance, it seems like they're making you think more strategically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want you to work mods in with what they have as far as perks on supers and stuff like that, mixed with different weapons and all kinds of stuff. So they're kind of taking really what they've wanted to do regardless in the beginning and kind of implementing it more now. And I'm fine with it. I think it's cool. Dude, you're hitting one extra button during a damage phase. It's not a big deal.
If you've got a problem with that, you're just being lazy. That's really all it amounts to.
Like, dude, don't get me wrong. Like, I would love a 30-second boss phase for a raid.
Especially if I'm grinding towards that one specific weapon and I've done 20 of them by now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I completely get it. But
like let me one phase Scourge of the Past boss. Like, that's, let me do it.
Yeah.
But for a lot of us, you and I included, that's not a tangible goal.
No.
But at the same time, if this is something that can help us, maybe I wouldn't even say get to that point, but something that makes us feel a little. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to go for on this one, but I'm okay with the implementation of this whole mechanic.
Of having to hit one extra button. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
That's
Square is not hard. It's right there. It's between the tip of your thumb and the ball. Like you're fine.
It's right next to the cross.
Exactly. And there's all kinds of armor to help you increase reload speed. There's mods. So, I'm not against it.
No,
At all.
not at all. What
No.
else you got for me?
So speaking of armor and mods, the whole Shadowkeep armor sets that were shown off at PAX West, we've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different armor sets. A lot of them are tied to Eververse, and a lot of them are tied to the raid. Or one set exclusively is tied to the raid, which is causing a lot of controversy.
Because of the way, because they look like a reskin.
Yeah. So basically, it's a reskin of some armor that was in Eververse in Season 3. So basically, it's a reskin of that, but there's some like, I don't know if you can see like the blue.
So these are
highlights.
reskins of armor from D1,
No, from D2,
from D2,
Year 1,
Year
Season
1.
3.
Season 3.
And that's why everyone's upset about it. Because that's the raid gear. So Garden of Salvation from the raid.
Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. Now I remember. Yeah. No. My opinion. That's actually that's cool. Which one is that?
So okay, that's not to kind of like throw everyone off. We're just kind of like going through these whole armor sets at once. This set is from like you can buy this. This is from you can buy this with like not silver but bright dust and all that good stuff. I
Right.
think. And then Dreambane is from the moon, so that's
From the moon,
planetary
Right.
exclusive armor. That one's from the raid. This one is from the Vex Offensive, which is a new activity that we're getting in Shadowkeep.
Yeah.
Not really a lot known about that one, but it is a new activity. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking it might be something kind of similar to like Blindwell or
Probably. Yeah.
something like that.
Not the Menagerie, but what's
Maybe
the
Menagerie.
other one? The Reckoning.
Something
Yeah.
seasonal, some sort of seasonal thing like that.
Now, can we go back to the raid one that everybody's pissed off about?
Absolutely, I'd love to.
So, people are mad because this is basically a reskinned of what Eververse had at one point.
Correct.
I'm sorry, do you not put shaders on your gear? Because the way I think about it
Right.
is when you put shaders on your gear or your armor, you're reskinning it right there.
Right. Well, so the thing is people are upset because like I don't know if because you made a Warlock, right?
Yeah.
Does that helmet not look familiar to you? Looks a lot like the helmet of Optimicity or right.
Yeah.
So,
But it's just a
but
cooler,
you
it's just
but
a cooler
no,
looking one.
yeah. So, but my thing is like what I understand what they're saying is because that helmet you can get as a random drop from an Eververse package now. Best of Year 1, right?
That's going to look like this or it's going to look like the other one?
It's gonna look a lot like that without that blue shit. It's gonna look just like that without that blue.
Oh, because that blue shit's the glow.
The blue shit's the glue.
Okay,
Or
so
the
it's
glue.
just gonna
the glow.
It's just going to look a lot cooler than what mine already is.
It's gonna look a little bit cooler than what you can get from a Best of Year 1 engram.
So why are we bitching?
Because you're having to do an entire raid to get this gear.
But it's a different gear.
It's I mean dude, trust me, I'm batting both sides on this one, and it's tough.
I don't get all the animosity because you're going to when you get gear,
But
you
because
sit
you
here
want
and you put
something-
new colors on it. So when you put new colors on it, you're reskinning it
All right,
to begin with.
So let me show you this one. All right, so the phenotype plasticity. These are universal.
That's overboard.
Exactly. But these are universal ornaments, right?
Yes.
Like you can get these from the battle pass.
Mm-hmm.
Does that not look like raid ornament or raid armor to you? Would you not rather have that
I'm
from the
honestly
raid?
not the right person to ask for that because I don't do enough rates to know that.
But I mean, I'm saying like if you're doing something that's in game,
Okay.
would that not be something that you would want to get instead of something that's already been retooled?
Would I rather have that armor right there at the end of a raid than the other one? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. See what the problem is? Because this one you can get for free. This or not free. Well, you know what I'm saying. Like
Mm-hmm.
that one's a lot easier to obtain than raid gear. and this raid gear is a reskin from something 2 years ago. This is new, and you get that one.
I mean, I'm gonna be looking like a mummy anyways. So.
I'm just saying. All right, next one. Oh, what do you think about the ones from the Vex Offensive?
That honestly looks like a European Dead Zone 2.0.
Yep. That's what I was thinking too. I think that one's the one with like a bunch of like leafy, mossy growth on it too. So we got that one going on.
Go back right there. That reminds me of basically a little bit of Iron Spider.
Nice. Oh. Why do you do that to me?
I'm just saying, it's like he's got spider legs coming out the back
of
the Titan. That is the Titan, right?
Yeah. All right. So what do you think about the Iron Banner gear? I think it looks sick. I'm actually really impressed with it. And that's your guy right there. So to me, I think it looks good.
I mean, so I've never honestly in the past couple that not couple pieces, but in the couple sets that I've gotten, I've never liked them. I've got them just to collect it and get it all. They look too For Honor-ish to me. That's why I really, really don't like them.
So you missed the heyday with Iron Banner, like Iron Banner gear back in the day. Like it's always been like kind of like knighty, like ninja kind of style, but it's very, very much into that aspect now. I don't know, man. Like, and that's what I like about this one is like it looks a lot different. Like
and that's why I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Hunter helmet looks pretty cool. The Warlock,
it's like a sick ass Power Ranger.
Like Bungie just hates Warlocks. I think like that looks horrible.
What's wrong with Warlocks?
That looks horrible. No, I'm saying like nothing's wrong with Warlocks. I'm saying they make you guys like the worst gear.
I mean, okay, yes, no, that I do agree with. I don't think there's anything wrong with Warlocks. I honestly only play Warlocks because of Spirit Fingers.
All right, and so this is the new Eververse ornaments.
Now that I am not down with at all.
You're not down with that?
Not at all.
That Studio 54 kind of look, you don't like that?
No.
Like you missed like your zippers off target or you missed a button.
Looks too blingish. No, you can keep that. I mean, I'm probably gonna get it to get it, but right. No, that'll be.
All right, well,
you're good.
So not only did they release these armors, they also had a leak through Reddit that showed off the mods for the raid armor. So if you know what that means, that shows off
or did people at PAX take pictures in front of the computers and then post them online?
Well, 100% that, yes. So they're showing off raid mechanics based on armor mods.
Right.
So basically, if you've seen the leaks, it looks like we're going to be playing a lot of Gambit inside the raid.
Yeah, because there's a certain part inside the raid where you have to insert something somewhere. There's moats and inserting is pretty much what the tagline is all about.
Yeah.
The only reason I really hate this being a topic is the fact that I hate leaks. I do. I can't stand leaks. Like, it's great. I want to know, but I want to know when it drops. And I hate it. But it's 2019. Yeah.
But and everything is subject to change too. You know,
like I would laugh so hard if all this stuff came out and none of it turned out to be true.
Unfortunately,
this is what you thought you were getting. No, this is what you're really getting.
Unfortunately, the armor is here to stay.
The armor.
The armor is here to stay.
Oh yeah, that doesn't bother me.
But yeah, no, it just sucks that they gave away an important part of a raid. You know, like the whole concept of the raid was to go in there blind and to figure it out step by step and try to, and that's why like people take 8, 10, 12.
After I do 24. A raid for the first time, I'll go and I'll watch videos of people that have never done them and they're just like trying to figure it out, and it's actually really fun to watch.
And you're like coaching them all. Hey, no, you go here. Go here.
You gotta. You're not fucking shooting the right guy. No, you both have to be over here.
Come on, you got this. So that's a huge disappointment. But I mean, it is what it is. It's just. You can't avoid leaks.
No, you can't, and it sucks. And it's like part of us really, really wants it, but then the other part of us is like, No, keep it away. I don't want to see it.
Right, exactly. So another thing that happened this week, Bungie implemented the community challenge, and we've completed it. So basically, the community challenge was I forget exactly the numbers, but you had
It
to
was
do
a lot.
It was a lot.
It was too many.
I do remember 300 million hive kills on Mars was one of them. You had to do a bunch of Zol strikes, a bunch of Nokris strikes, bunch of random stuff.
And if I say anything, I just want to say thank you to all the people who spent hours and hours and hours on doing all that stuff so that I could get the stuff that's going to come from this, because I did one run through of Escalation Protocol and I did one Nightfall. I was not about to sit there for hours and just keep doing that crap.
Lazy. So lazy.
No,
I
I
appreciate
had
that.
Outbreak and Wendigo and everything else to work on.
I had important stuff. No, so by completing this community challenge, we're going to receive extra drops from the menagerie and a emblem if we completed the Nightfall.
So where you would normally get one drop, you're going to get what, 2?
2 or 3, something like
Two or
that. I think it all depends on what you have as far as unlocks on your
And when
chalice.
does this go into effect?
This week.
So reset.
Yeah. So it's going. There was like a little hiccup at reset, or not at reset, but when the community challenge was completed, there was a little hiccup where it wasn't like giving the extra things, but they fixed it, so we're good there.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you haven't already,
How many hours did you play?
Oh God, I think I did like maybe 2 or 3 Escalation Protocol run-throughs. Probably 2 Zols, no Nokris. So other than that, I did not contribute a lot. So yes, yes. So if you're listening, if you haven't done your Nightfall yet, go do that because you get an extra emblem, and then on top of that, you'll get all your extra menagerie rewards. So go run your Nightfall, go run your weekly menagerie, and run for that God roll Austringer. Speaking of Austringer,
I got my Austringer.
and guns.
And guns.
There are a ton of guns and exotics coming into Shadowkeep, which I want to kind of touch base on.
Yep.
So basically, first of all, for the Warlock, you guys are getting a pretty dope chess piece. It's called Storm Dancer's Brace. Basically, the more kills that you get with Stormcaller, it increases your damage of Stormcaller. So you're going to go running through there all tickly-wickly. And
All right.
The more ads you kill, the more damage you're going to do to like a major or something like that. So very cool design for that. Very cool perk. So I'm really excited to see how that works out, especially since I'm running 3 now apparently again. After that, you got the Assassin's Cowl. Perk is a Vanishing Execution. Defeating a guardian with a melee attack or a combatant with a finisher grants invisibility and restores a portion of health and shields. I don't know if you've seen any of the finisher moves for any of the classes, but they look really cool.
The punch, the Superman punch.
The Superman punch. I think the Warlock's got the Superman punch. The Titan's got like the back kick kind of thing, like Patrick Swayze from Roundhouse.
That's cool.
And then the Hunter's got like a backflip blade stabby stab. So sounds pretty interesting. We'll see how that works out.
I'm just ready for new exotics. Like I've gotten. I mean, at this point, I've really almost gotten them all. I mean, I'm still missing like Le Monarch, and I don't have Anarchy.
It's unfortunate because Le Monarch's just a drop.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
So Le Monarch, Truth.
Truth's not worth it.
Anarchy, and Izanagi's Burden, and Jotun. Those are really the only ones that I'm missing right now.
Out of all the guns you mentioned, you just want Jotun.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well, I mean, and of course, if you count, 1,000 voices.
Yeah, but that's
But
The
yeah,
drop rate's like
point.
0.000.
I just want Jotun for the sake of I've done that run 25 times and I still haven't got it. And everybody else that I play with has it.
You'll get it. You'll get it.
And then I just, I don't even know if I went into this with you. I got John to buy.
Yeah, I saw him on.
Yeah,
doing
so
that, yeah.
so I got him to buy because I told him if he didn't buy it, I was gonna buy it for him. He's gonna have to play either way. So he bought it. He's gonna get back into it. And I was making a comment to him the other day. I said, "You're gonna sit here and you're gonna play through your story and you're gonna do your thing, and you're gonna fucking get it on like your second fucking try, and you're gonna be the only person in this goddamn clan that still doesn't have it. I'm gonna be pissed." So now Dolan was helping me get my hunter up the other night so that I can,
Oh, there you go.
so I can have my warlock going through twice through
See, if you think about it, you got three different characters, and then you can run it 2 different times per character per week.
6 times a week.
Yeah, so
Probably still won't get it.
probably not.
Because I think Dolan was talking about how he's played it 100 times, or he's ran it 100 times.
Don't let him fool you. He got it way sooner than that.
Well, no, he got it sooner, but out of the 100 times that he's ran it, it's only dropped for him 2 or 3 times.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, the drop chance on
Yeah.
that is super low.
And then I was sitting there playing it the other night, trying to run it and do it, and sure enough, the guy with me gets it. I was pissed.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
All right, another exotic that we have coming is for the Titan. It's called Phoenix Cradle.
And what is that?
Perks are beacons of empowerment. Sun Warrior lasts twice as long. Allies who pass through your sunspots are granted Sun Warrior. So I think it's like an increased damage kind of thing. After
It's their Aquaman looking armor boots.
Oh yeah. Sick.
Hmm.
Nice. I just noticed that. All right. There's a couple more. You've got Deathbringer, which kind of acts like a Scorch Cannon as far as like a rocket launcher. So basically, you launch it, you hold the trigger, you release it above a bunch of enemies, and it kind of rains down void orbs on top of your enemy combatants. So that's pretty neat.
It looks cool.
Yeah. Divinity, which is actually the raid exotic that we'll be getting in Garden of Salvation. It is a trace rifle that basically what it does is creates a area of effect on a enemy. So just creates more damage towards them. Technically, it says sustained damage with this weapon envelops the target in a field that weakens and disrupts them.
And what is that?
It's a trace rifle.
Trace rifle? Okay.
Yep, and that'll be coming in with Garden of Salvation. You've got the still technically untitled machine gun from the new expansion. This is the one they've been talking about. This kind of like powered by an insect.
Oh, and it's got the little. It reminds me of that whole Jurassic Park thing.
Yeah.
Where the little moth thing is inside the bug. Is inside the little.
Was like the mosquito inside the amber with the
Yep. Yeah, I thought it was cool.
They've got it titled money sign machine gun 0 dot name machine money sign. So I kind of want to leave that name, to be honest with you, but it seems pretty cool. The perk is pyroxetin rounds, fires high powered explosive ammunition. So little
Do you
explosions.
think most of these are going to be tied behind Quest, or are they going to be tied behind Randoms?
Well, Divinity is going to be a raid drop, so just hold on to that one. Deathbringer and the machine gun, I think, might be tied to a quest. Maybe it's hard to tell though, because you never know with Destiny anymore. You never know.
It's all good. I'm taking October 1st off.
There you go.
I'll try it out. Let y'all know how it is.
There's also been a couple leaks of actual raid guns.
Yeah.
They've got Ancient Gospel, which looks to be it's a 140 hand cannon with very high impact. So you're looking more towards like I wouldn't really say Midnight Coup, but like whatever's before that. It's got 10 rounds in the mag. Looks pretty cool. They've got Zealot's Reward, which is a fusion rifle. Can't really see what the perks are on that one, but it's got mid impact. Looks pretty cool. So I mean, there's a lot to come down as far as weapons in the game. So
I mean, you said that this expansion's not going to be as big as Forsaken.
No, this is more of a, and they've said it before, this is more of like a Rise of Iron kind of size DLC.
But I still feel like it does have a lot to offer, even though it's not going to be as big.
Yeah, there's a huge sandbox change. There's a huge. There's obviously raid. A lot of different things are changing. A lot of quality of life stuff. So this is a big expansion. Not as big as Forsaken, but sizable.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, now there's going to be a lot of story to be told. You never got to experience the whole Eris Morn part of Destiny 1.
No.
And
But
she's coming back.
Have a story.
She will be here. So tell me what you would like to see as far as character development, what you kind of think the raid might be, story details. Like what would you hope to see and what you think might happen?
It's a great question. Raids, I have honestly no idea because raids are always completely random, and it's just like I didn't think I was going to be in a raid a couple months ago where I'm freaking racing through a tunnel on speeders. But then you have to also remember I didn't play any Destiny 1, so
Right.
like I don't really know what to expect in that regard.
So
I only
anything
think
new is completely new.
right.
to
It's
you,
completely new. So in my mind, when I'm thinking of a raid, I'm thinking of shooting a bunch of shit, doing some puzzles, shooting a bunch of more shit, doing some more puzzles.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, no. So I mean, and it's just really hard, and a lot of teamwork. So I mean,
So what about that whole moat mechanic that they're talking about? How do you think that's going to play into it?
I mean, if that's really is what it is, that sounds like somebody's running out of ideas. Now you're combining something that's already in the game into something that's already in the game. So that's just, hey, this might be fun. Yeah, sure, let's do it. And just a bunch of people in suits talking.
Right. I got you.
So I mean, if it is, it's cool. Whatever, I'll do it. I don't mind throwing some moats and things. I like Gambit. I can play Gambit all day. So I mean, that's fine with me.
Yeah. Now, there's also a huge, I wouldn't really say spoiler, but there's a plot line where they're saying that once we complete something within the story, or within the raid, then that's going to open up a gateway between what we're doing and the Vex coming in.
No, that's after the raid.
Yeah, so something basically has to happen within, I think once we beat the raid or whatever, or maybe not the raid, but something within Shadowkeep. Once we do something that pisses the Vex off, and that's why they invade.
Yeah, no, I don't know, and see that's mainly what I'm excited for. Is I just want more story. That's it. I just want more pinnacle moments.
More pinnacle moments, huh?
That's really all I want.
Yeah. I really wish you had experienced the whole Eris Morn thing because she's
that
scary.
dark green glowing lady, right?
Yeah, with the third eye.
Yeah. Is she cool?
I mean, she's
Is she a good guy or a bad guy?
She's good.
She good? Okay.
She's interesting. She was part of a fire team way back when,
right.
and they went down into the Hellmouth on the moon originally to fight Crota, and they lost.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so
she's been retired ever since.
Yeah, so she's been back ever since Crota, and she played a big part in Taken King as well. So she's been there for a minute. So I'm really excited to see her come back.
Are we gonna get character placement changes? This is completely random and really a small detail, but I was just thinking about how like the Drifter wasn't where the Drifter always was, and then Ada, the moment that's supposed to happen where she's gonna walk off the ship. Like, this makes me feel like they're gonna move around.
Oh, you think they're like just change? Hopefully they're closer to a spawn point. Right? Is that what you want? Is just close? I don't want to have to walk for 7 seconds.
I hate having to go all the way over to the hangar. There's nothing over at the hangar except Xur when he comes in with his exotic trash.
His exotic trash. Sometimes he's got good stuff though.
Yeah, rarely. I mean, he had Lord of Wolves this week.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's cool.
After they nerfed it.
Yes. Well, I mean, in PvE, not so. I can tell you right now, not in PvP.
Are people still using it? Because that's what it was supposed to be. Was like they're supposed to nerf the whole perk on that because like you consume the clip, right? Like you hold square and it's supposed to do more of a ranged attack at higher power. So
maybe in PvE, but PvP I get wrecked with it.
Damn.
And I get pissed because it's usually about Titan. Fucker.
It is by
fucking hate Titans. Overpowered junkies.
I got you. All right, so let's slide over a little something that's a little less
Slide
traumatizing,
to the
little
left.
less traumatizing for you.
Slide to the right.
One hop this time.
Do.
One hop this time. All right, so like we said earlier, we all completed the community challenge for Mars. So what would you think would be a good community challenge for the future?
Ooh, that's good. A community challenge. So now I have to think in terms of a whole shit ton of people doing something instead of just
Yeah,
me.
so I mean, a couple million.
Oh man, yeah, a couple million.
I mean, obviously, it can't be tied to a raid.
No, hell
Right.
no.
Something match made.
Center it around Gambit or the Forges.
Okay. So
1 million batteries tossed, or 500
yeah.
million motes, dropped in. 20,000 primevals. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of cool.
I like that.
I would totally do that.
yeah, I mean, I would. Yeah,
I
would play more
me
Gambit.
personally, and this is just me, I enjoy Gambit and the Forges more than I do Escalation Protocol.
Yeah, because Escalation Protocol is more of a luck of the draw kind of deal. Like you have to keep respawning on each side to kind of see.
Well, that and it's straight
Who's gonna
PvE.
show
It's
up.
just straight PvE. It's the same thing. It's just 7 levels, one harder than the next. But at
Right.
least with Gambit, I get that PvP little aspect thrown in there where I get to go and kill other players and do my own thing. And then with the Forges, I mean, those are super quick and simple, and I need Jotun and Lamonarch. So I mean,
That's really why you
so
want that
do
as a main
those.
event. I got
But
you.
no, I think those would be two really, really cool to incorporate in them, because
Yeah.
strikes are strikes. Everybody does strikes.
Yeah.
Sure, whatever.
And I know it's kind of a tough question too to kind of ask, because like Shadow keeps coming out, so we don't know what the moon's gonna really.
Well,
have
yeah,
to
no,
go
we don't
on,
know what the
so-
moves. And then on top of that, we're gonna lose one of the Gambit modes. Speculation. We're supposed to lose one of them.
God, I hope it's Reckoning.
Oh, is it? I thought it was gonna be the choice between Gambit or Gambit Prime.
Oh,
That's just what I thought. I thought it was gonna be one
okay.
of
So
those two.
that might be it. So get rid of Gambit. Leave Gambit Prime.
Just leave Gambit Prime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I hate Reckoning. it's not fun. Were you with us the other night when we were running?
Yeah, it was me, you, Dolan, and Evan, right?
No, there was a Blueberry, so I don't know. It might not have been you then.
Oh, I don't know.
But it was just like, I don't know, it's just miserable.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, it was miserable a couple of weeks ago before that patch when you didn't get nothing from it.
yeah.
And now you're guaranteed to get something now.
Yeah. Well, guaranteed.
No.
So we'll
Probably
see.
be shit, but you'll get something.
We will see.
Yeah.
All right. So as far as future stuff, what do you want to see out of Destiny?
I want a new Guardian.
Oh, go on.
I don't know. I remember seeing an article before Forsaken dropped, and people were leaking the fact that we were getting new supers, and I remember seeing an article in there. It is a rumored article. It wasn't anything that was, of course, set in stone, or they were saying that it was, but just talking about how cool it would be to have a fourth kind of Guardian. I don't know. I just think that'd be super cool.
Is that when they were talking about like the like having the darkness element?
Right. Yeah. That was exactly what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think that'd be kind of cool.
That would be super awesome. And to kind of see that tie into like the supers that we have now, like it would be really cool. There was a gun in Destiny 1. God, why can I not remember it? Touch of Malice.
Okay.
All right. So basically what Touch of Malice did was like it did extra damage at the cost of the wielder's life.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So imagine a Warlock well.
Okay.
Right. Follow me. So a Warlock well, and you did extra damage, but everybody inside the well takes life away at every shot. And that's exactly what Touch of Malice was. But imagine that in a well doing way more damage, but still costing people their life.
Yeah.
I think that would be neat.
Yeah, no, it would be.
Very
It's like I said,
necromancy,
it
but-
makes it goes back to what I was saying earlier. It makes it strategic. And you got to think
Exactly.
about things a lot more. But no, I just think like some kind of new Guardian with some kind of new super, or even a new element or a new, new elements, something new in that regards. You can always get new levels. You always get new kinds of modes. Like that's kind of given. You know you're going to get that every season.
Mm-hmm.
But just kind of thinking outside the box, I just think that would be super cool. Because with all the lore that Destiny has, there's got to be somewhere in a galaxy somewhere, they're just not talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to see a furthering of the darkness. Like I want to see where that's coming from, what that is.
Mm-hmm.
The pyramid ships. Like there's so much locked behind lore.
Oh yeah.
That I would love to see and played out in a story narrative that is inside the game that we can follow.
I mean, I would even be happy if we got new types of enemies.
Yeah.
You have Vex, Fallen, Scorn, Hive, and
we've been asking for that for 5 years.
I've always wanted to see that. And I think one of the big, and for me personally, one of those big reasons is, especially when I watch, movies or TV shows, I love those type of movies or TV shows that have a very big cast. And I don't know, I feel like we've been looking at the same cast in Destiny for so long now. Let's bring more things into
we
it.
absolutely have.
Yeah. So I don't know, that would just make it a lot more exciting for me.
Yeah.
Because then that's a whole new character you have to learn about. That's a whole lot more that could be, a whole lot more interesting.
Exactly. So much more lore
Mm-hmm.
tied behind a book that I have to buy off Amazon or look at inside further into the game. But
you have a mall right down the road.
I know.
I have one right beside my house where I just went and picked it right up first thing when they opened.
I'm totally down. I would love to see a little bit more things coming to an end too. What happened? Like who was the speaker? Who's the stranger? EXO.
No.
What is the traveler really? I just want to see.
And I think if we ever get a Destiny 3, that would be a perfect way to end when that franchise ever decides to come to. Because I don't think Destiny should go into Destiny 4 and Destiny 5.
Just pick a number and finish off with it.
Pick a number, finish off with it. But at the end of that franchise, start focusing, even if it's focused on that story-driven element, focus on just tying those loose ends up, and explaining and giving us answers, and then kind of like that Uncharted 4 ending, just let it go. Just let it go, self and sunset, and let it be perfect the way that it was.
Yeah, exactly. That'd
be super cool.
Like there's that whole cutscene where Prince Aldrin got resurrected.
Mm-hmm.
Never touched on that since.
Mm-mm. Oh yeah, no, I know that I do. Yeah. I definitely agree with you. There are a lot of plot holes.
Not that the stories aren't amazing.
No, there are.
But there's some continuity errors.
Yeah.
Like that's. I think we can both agree that we just want to see a finishing.
Mm-hmm. Just tie up loose ends.
Yeah. Make a whole story out of that, or a whole DLC. All right, and I think that'll do it.
That'll do it. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. We will see you next week.